Today, we are previewing the Steelers' Week 7 matchup versus the Los Angeles Rams. I got keys to victory. I got team trends coming your way. The whole 9 yards. But before we get into today's action, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so that you can join us for our live watch party tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coop and I, we're going to be giving you guys an hour of pregame coverage. We're going to be having live play-by-play, live reactions to everything that happens in tomorrow's game. Very big game tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Rams. And then also we've got a bunch of Super Chat giveaways, Super Chat MVP item. We got a bunch of great stuff lined up for you guys tomorrow. We're also the largest Super Chat, or we're also the largest Steelers watch parties on game days here on YouTube. So if you want a place to join us here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Before we get things going today, let me know who you got down there in the comments section. Do you think the Steelers improved to 4-2 with a win? Type PIT. Or if you think the Los Angeles Rams are going to take care of business at home this week, type LAR down there in the comments. So now this week, coming off a bye here, 3-2, the Pittsburgh Steelers, second place in the AFC North, are looking to improve to 4-2 against the Los Angeles Rams, who I really thought weren't going to be sitting at 3-3 here in Week 7. When I went through the schedule before the season, I thought this was going to be a pretty darn easy victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But right now, Cooper Kupp is playing well. It looks like Matthew Stafford is back. You got Puka Nacua, a really awesome rookie wide receiver to kind of complete a dynamic duo at wide receiver here. It's not going to be a cakewalk there at SoFi Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Can't wait to break this down with you guys. But also, I want to put this out there right now. Okay, one of the reasons why the Steelers actually have a little bit of an advantage here going into this week is that Mike Tomlin, as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, has been really, really good coming off of the bye week. 12-4 in his career as the Steelers head coach. So that's definitely an advantage that the Steelers possess here as they go into this Week 7 matchup. And speaking of that Week 7 matchup, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams here. Of course, they're starting their season at 3-3. Their head coach is Sean McVay, kind of a pioneer of the West Coast offense here. It's really him and Kyle Shanahan that have brought this offensive system that's worked for decades, literally, at this point, and really modernized it here where they're doing a bunch of different stuff, crossing routes, flood concepts, play action boots. You know, they've taken the staples of the West Coast offense and have really made it their own. I still think Kyle Shanahan is a bit above Sean McVay, but I think with what McVay is doing this year with kind of a less talented roster than he's had in years past and still getting this team to play good football, it definitely shows that he knows what he's doing as the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. Then their defensive system, quarters heavy, Fangio style. They're going to be playing lots of off coverage, not a whole lot of blitzing. They really trust their front seven there to take care of things in the run game. 2 high safeties is what you're going to see a lot from them tomorrow. And their defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, is one of the best in the business when it comes to running that type of scheme. So now let's take a look at the trends so far this season. The Steelers' offense has really struggled, 15.8 points per game. And the Rams' defense has actually done a pretty decent job. Right now, they're holding their opponents to less than 20 points per game, which is really, really nice. I mean, coming into this season, I thought that this defensive roster did not look good whatsoever, but they drafted a lot of young players, and they're really playing well to start their NFL careers. Then you turn the switches here. You look at the Rams offense, 23 points per game. Steelers are giving up about 22 points per game. The Steelers defense, though, although they're giving up a lot of yards, 389 yards per game, that's 30th in the National Football League. The saving grace for this defense to this point has been the sacks and the turnovers. You can see right there, 11 turnovers for the Steelers defense. And if you believe the trends here, the trends would tell you that the Rams have the advantage here and that they win this football game by about a score, about 23-17, give or take a couple of points. But I'm going to let you know what I think coming up here in today's show. I'm going to have my Week 7 score prediction, and I'm also going to tell you the 5 things the Steelers need to do tomorrow afternoon to beat the Los Angeles Rams. And then also, I got my Matthew Stafford scouting report coming your way here in just a second. But before I get into those things, let's have a word from our sponsor at Gametime. And Gametime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. I'm somebody that loves to get tickets last minute, right? I'll be sitting at my desk here at Chat Sports, and I'm going to be like, you know, I want to go to an MLB baseball game tonight, or I want to go to an NBA basketball game tonight, or I want to go to a concert with my girlfriend. Gametime is perfect for me because they got the lowest price guarantee, so I don't have to go to a bunch of different ticketing apps. And then also, they've got flash deals right before kickoff, right before game time, whatever you guys want to call it. So you get really great deals right before the event. They've also got a super easy-to-use app where 360-degree views of the seats before you buy them. It's absolutely fantastic. There's a reason why it's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds. 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are also sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email again. Snag the tickets without the stress with Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code SteelersChat, one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SteelersChat for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. And then if you didn't already have a reason to come and watch our live watch party tomorrow, you could get an additional $50 on your first Gametime purchase here, along with the $20 guaranteed when you use this deal. So this is what you guys have to do to potentially win our $50 Gametime raffle on the live watch party tomorrow. You download the Gametime app, you open the redeem code screen, you redeem that code, Steelers Chat, all caps, one word, for $20 off. That's guaranteed. You screenshot that to me on Twitter or on Instagram. I'll put that up here in just a second. And then finally, you just have to tune in to the live watch party tomorrow afternoon to see if you've won. If you need to get in contact with me here, send that screenshot to @Jack_Sperry on Twitter/X. Or if you don't have Twitter, you only have Instagram, you can send it to @SpareDog.football. And then if you don't have social media, that's not for you. That's good with me as well. You can go to the email here, jsperry132@gmail.com. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. Get those screenshots going and send them my way. All right, so now let's get to those keys to victory, starting with the defense here, which you got to get pressure on Matthew Stafford, and quickly. All right, Matthew Stafford is somebody that gets the ball out of his hands very, very quickly. And right now, there's kind of a quote-unquote holy trinity right now going on in Los Angeles when it comes to the passing game. Matthew Stafford, we're going to get to him in just a second. I think he's still a top 10 quarterback in this league, but he's also got a dynamic duo at the wide receiver position in Cooper Kupp, who we all know how talented that guy is. The route running is super pristine and clean. It's going to be super tough for the Steelers secondary to keep him under wraps. And then Puka Nacua, who is pretty much just another version of Cooper Kupp. I mean, how did Sean McVay get another version of Cooper Kupp as a rookie? That is absolutely insane. Puka's done an incredible job to start his NFL career. And I really do think that the key matchup here between the Steelers pass rush and the Rams offensive line is going to be between Alex Highsmith, the edge rusher, going up against the Rams left tackle, Alaric Jackson, who is their lowest graded offensive lineman to this point in the season. Of course, TJ Watt's going to play a big part tomorrow afternoon, but I really think Highsmith is going to have to get some production as well, as he needs to take advantage of that beneficial matchup that he's going to have this week. Now let's get to the next key to victory here, which is that the Steelers need to win the turnover battle. We've talked about the Steelers' formula for winning here on the show many times. It's dominate on defense and win the turnover battle. You need to do that this week if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, Matthew Stafford is going to be a problem for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's just put it that way. He's got incredible arm talent, can throw from any arm angle. He does no-look passes. And then also he's incredibly intelligent, too. He's been a pro in this league for such a long time. He's seen every single coverage in the book. His anticipation is off the charts as well. So it's going to be really tough. You know, his chemistry with Cooper Kupp is absolutely unmatched. And then the arm talent, like I said, he's got one of the strongest arms in the league when healthy, and he can really move in the pocket well. He does have some cons, however. He's very, very aggressive as a decision maker. Back in 2020, when this team, or 2021, I should say, when this team won the Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford led the league in interceptions. This guy takes risks. The Steelers are among the league leaders in turning the ball over. I think the Steelers need to turn the ball over against Matthew Stafford to have success in this football game. Obviously, the mobility isn't all that great for Stafford. He's a true pocket passer, and then inconsistent footwork can get him at times, but his arm talent's so great that the footwork doesn't really matter. I still think that he's a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. And listen, the quarterback matchup it's no question that Kenny Pickett is not where Matthew Stafford is in terms of talent and ability at this point in his NFL career. He's completing less than 60% of his passes, just over 1,000 yards in 5 games played, 5 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He's done a good job at limiting turnovers, and you can see that with the turnover-worthy play percentage. Right now, he's 14th in the NFL. Not fantastic, but certainly it could be worse here for Kenny Pickett. And I think his only job on Sunday, I'm not asking him to outplay Matthew Stafford. I'm not asking him to get into a shootout with Stafford and beat him at his own game. All I'm asking Kenny Pickett to do this weekend is to do what he's done when the Steelers have won football games, which is to protect the damn football. Don't throw interceptions. Don't win that turnover battle. Don't throw more interceptions than Matthew Stafford this weekend. Now, I still got 3 more keys to victory to go over with you guys. But first, do your part here. Click that thumbs up icon because every like that we get on today's video is going to equal 1 yard of offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. So if you want Matt Canada, Kenny Pickett, and crew here to figure things out on offense here in Week 7, do me a favor. Click that thumbs up icon and help us out. Now, also on offense, you got to do whatever you freaking can to stop Aaron Donald, because I know that some people think, oh, he's kind of lost the step, he's getting older, blah, 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 blah. That couldn't be further from the truth. Aaron Donald right now is ranking as the number 2 defensive tackle in the National Football League with a grade of 90.6 from Pro Football Focus. And if you watch him on film, man, he is still that same dude that's just absolutely destroying double teams. He's absolutely, he's still that guy that's won multiple Defensive Player of the Year trophies. He is a freak of nature, and the Steelers are going to have a really tough time guarding this guy, especially if the offensive line continues to play like they have all season. You do get James Daniels back this week. That should help a little bit, but Mason Cole has been really, really bad so far this year, 48.5. I think that the Rams are going to do whatever they can to get one-on-one matchups between Donald and Mason Cole. But even if you put double teams on Donald, he's still beating them at this point in his NFL career. He's going to be somebody that the Steelers absolutely need to stop. If they can't, Kenny Pickett's going to be under pressure a lot this week, which is not good for the black and gold. Now, another thing that I think the Steelers need to do on offense is you need to get the run game going. And this has probably been a key to victory for me, probably since week 1, right? Every single week I say, you got to get Najee Harris going. You got to get Najee Harris going. But every single week, it seems like that's not happening, right? The run game is not doing much so far this year. And the Rams' rush defense is vulnerable, okay? So this is definitely a week where the Steelers can get Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren going here on the ground. 122 rush yards allowed per game, which is 22nd in the National Football League right now. So the Steelers could absolutely take advantage of that. And when it comes to Najee Harris right now, the clock is definitely ticking for this guy, man. The trade deadline is fast approaching, and the Steelers want a running back on their roster that they know they can take into the future and really build an offense around. Going into the season, Matt Canada, Mike Tomlin, they consistently said, we want this offense to be based around the run game. But so far, Najee just hasn't really been getting it done this season. Just 3.9 yards per carry, under 50 yards rushing per game. The success rate is among the lowest among number 1 running backs in the National Football League, and he still doesn't have a touchdown through 5 games played. So Najee is going to have to get a lot better here before the trade deadline, or I think the Steelers might actually make a move for a guy like Saquon Barkley or a Josh Jacobs or maybe even a Derrick Henry. It's definitely a possibility. If Najee just can't get things going, then they might go somewhere else here and look elsewhere to try to give this a very prominent role in the Steelers' offense to somebody that can actually get the job done. Now let's go to the last key to victory for this week, which is that you got to get Diontae Johnson in the freaking end zone, man. This guy hasn't gotten a touchdown since week 17 of the 2021 season. For somebody that's this good at playing football, that's an absolute travesty. Now, I know DJ's been out with that hamstring injury since week 1, but he's coming back this week. I'm really hoping that he's going to make a big impact for this Steelers offense because defenses have been allowed to double-team George Pickens without Diontae Johnson on the field. They can no longer do that. Deontay's too good of a route runner. They know they have to account for DJ's route-running prowess here, so I'm hoping that opens things up for George Pickens. He can be more productive, and then also DJ was the number 1 weapon for Kenny Pickett last year. He was his go-to guy. So hopefully this is just what the doctor ordered, man. Hopefully Diontae Johnson coming in can really provide a spark for this Steelers offense, get us back on the right track, and hopefully, finally, Deontay Johnson can get himself in the end zone and get a damn touchdown. All right, so after all this here, I think that the Steelers will actually win this week. You know, last week I would have told you I think the Rams are going to win, but after going into the film here, diving deep, knowing that Diontae Johnson's coming back, Pat Freiermuth is going to be back this week, James Daniels is going to be back this week, Mike Tomlin's really impressive record coming off a bye. I think the Steelers find a way to win this football game like they have the first 3 wins of their season. I'm going to say 27-23. Pittsburgh Steelers get the W and improve to 4-2. Hopefully this offense gets things going here. I'm optimistic, but I guess we'll have to see. All right, do me a favor right now. It's your turn now. Get in the comments section and give me your score predictions for this Week 7 matchup versus the Rams. Can't wait to see how you're feeling about the black and gold coming off their bye week. That'll be it for me today, Steelers fans. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button and join us for our live watch party tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. We got a bunch of great stuff lined up for you. I'll see you guys later. And as always, here we go, Steelers.